welcome back to the second in our series of best of episodes from season 23 of Undercurrent. Last month, we wanted to hear your thoughts on the rise of gambling in the Australian culture. With gambler losses of $24 billion nationally, it's one of the fastest growing industries in the country. Annabelle Pinardi took to the streets of Perth to hear your thoughts.
Australians are considered to have an escalating addiction in regards to gambling. In 2017 alone, Australian gamblers lost a record $24 billion, granting us the world's most prolific gamblers based on per capita spending. Due to the addictive nature of many machines, including pokie machines, unless preventative initiatives are put in place, Australia's gambling problem is only going to spiral. Today we're taking to the streets of Perth to see what the people have to say about the issue. Now, personally, do you enjoy gambling?
I don't gamble.
I don't gamble either, actually.
I used to work on Fleet Street on a horse racing newspaper called The Sporting Life. I got a very bad addiction to gambling, but now I don't gamble because I just don't gamble. You never win. You never win at all. The bookie, you never get a poor bookie, so you never win, so that's it, yeah.
I do enjoy gambling, but I'm not addicted to gambling. So I've been gambling since got taken to the trots when I was like 8 years old because my uncle had horses and we were given money and we'd bet. And when we were kids, we always played cards with the family for money. So I do enjoy gambling, yes, but I can go without, I've got a betting account, but I could go weeks without having a bet.
Personally, I do enjoy gambling, but only between like friends and stuff like that. I don't obviously go to pokies or casino too often. I'm from more of a country town anyway. But my friends and I like to bet over just sports games and stuff like that. But yeah.
And would you like to see regulations on gambling machines to protect those that are not financially educated?
Absolutely. I think today so many people are stressed out trying to chase that elusive dollar. Yep, I think, yeah, definitely.
Well, I think it's jumping from one corridor to another. And by that I mean from gambling to lotto, which is a form of gambling anyway. So if it can be constricted in such a way that people have to be responsible, then that's a jolly good thing.
Well, you got to look at the eastern states about the pokies over there. I used to live in Sydney, and I used to go down the Eastern Suburbs Club down in Bondi Junction, and you used to get the same women down there. They'd sit there day after day playing the one-armed bandits or the pokies, and it was just an addiction. Yeah, it's a total addiction like that, and that was their life, just to sit there for sometimes for 24 hours at these pokies, playing pokies. And they should. It's probably a good thing they haven't got the pokies over here, but then again, if they had the pokies, you'd have a lot of cheaper things because they support a lot of things out there.
But I do agree there should be more restrictions on gambling, yeah, because there is some people that can't help themselves, and I think all the gambling advertising on when the football and the cricket's on, I reckon that should be canned, because now it's getting to the stage where young people think you can't watch football without having a bet on it. You're not being loyal to your team unless you've had a bet on it. Where before, when I was a kid, we'd go and watch the football. We'd also go to the races and have a bet on the horses. But the football, you could watch a game and enjoy it without having a bet on it. Where now they promote it as though if you're not having a back in your team, you're not like a loyal supporter.
I think so, yes, because I walk through the casino here in Perth and you see quite a lot of old people sitting down there just kind of chipping away at it all the time, and it's kind of sad, I guess, in some ways, but you don't know their backstory or anything like that, so yeah.
And there is evidence that gamblers that do gamble a lot are at an increased risk of developing stress-related conditions. What are your thoughts on this?
I would think that would be very, very true. They're always just trying to win, and yeah. That's what I was like when I went to the Eastern States. It was like, wow, this is crazy, I was just trying to chase it all the time, thinking, next time. There was no next time.
I can understand. Well, it's stressful because a lot of people that have got gambling addictions, like like my cousin, he was going through heaps of jobs and that, which is stressful, I guess. If you're addicted to gambling, your whole life's going to be stressful, isn't it? You
haven't got the money. Your money goes quick, and before you know it, you're skint. You haven't got any money. That's what happened with me. I was earning big bucks in London.
You had to come to Australia.
Then I had to come to Australia.
And what are your views on the government collecting the tax revenue from gambling losses?
I had no idea about that, but I think it's just another tax really that they put on anything just to get money for everything really. So probably not a good thing. Maybe they could go to better things, but see what they spend the money on, I guess. So yeah.
I guess it's like they need they probably don't want people to be addicted to gambling, but they probably do need the money. Yeah, it's like tobacco, isn't it? They don't want people to smoke, but they like all the tax they can collect on it.
Yeah, the bottom line is like, if the people weren't gambling, the government won't get the tax. So what do you do? So do they want the people to stop gambling? If they stop them gambling, they don't get the tax, and that's the answer. It's not just this government; it's any government. If you went to the UK and it's you see the gambling that goes on there, and they get all the big bookies over here now from the UK. William Hill, Ladbrokes, they're all over here now. So and I can assure you, they spend money over here gambling.
I'm Annabelle Pinardi reporting for Undercurrent.
Some weeks ago, we visited No Menu, a Perth restaurant which had received the dubious honour of being titled the worst restaurant in Perth. We visited and spoke with owner Maurizio Diciano to find out if the establishment really does deserve such a review.
I'm here at No Menu restaurant in Perth in Highgate, and it's owned by the famous Maurizio Diciano, who has some of the greatest achievements in the culinary world of Italian fine dining. However, the West Australian has called it the worst restaurant in Perth. So how can it be? Let's find out what this fuss is all about.
Well, I would say that some lost chefs sometimes become critics, and they should prove themselves they can cook better than us before they can criticize us. And they should prove they can run a restaurant, especially in this era where there is a big challenge in quality stuff to find good stuff. And the market is already quite competitive, and the economy is quite down to the bottom in Western Australia. I think before they endorse a pen and become a sort of a judge, they should take off the suit and put on the jacket and come in the kitchen with me and show me they can do better. If you're a critic, it's got to be a constructive critic. I'm happy you criticize the food, the dishes, take a photo of the dishes, criticize the service, but you tell people with the planning to damage the logo, with a photo from outside and say, don't stop, keep driving, and all this stupid sarcasm, it's very, very low. I mean, it's not professional, it's overpowered, it's got too much power, and I believe most of the hospitality industry in WA agrees with me. We all banned him, so he's not welcome to most of the Western Australian restaurants. And I think he should, rethink how much damage he's doing to the industry, to the tourism in WA, and including the WA Western Australian paper. It should rethink and control the power of this man and the damage this man is doing to the industry and to the tourism in WA. Is one of the pupil of the new market. Tourism should grow, but they're killing internally. That's probably, it's a reason that they use, but it's not an excuse. It's not plausible. It's not feasible to do something like that. It's not original and it's not respectful. So they shouldn't do that. It's not the way to create attention and to make money with your paper. That's very, very low. And that probably only happens because we are far, far away. We are in WA and we're still a small town. I couldn't see that happen, not in Rome, not in Milan, not in Paris, not in New York, and not in, in the largest city in the world. But because he's the only food critic, so he can do whatever he wants. And it's not fair to treat Perth operators, hospitality operators, as a small village people. We source all our fresh food in WA or imported, and we transform the food daily. We call it No Menu because we want to create dishes every day that is made with the freshest food, seafood, meat, or fruit and veg we find in a day. Of the canned one, if it's a Sicilian olives, obviously comes in a jar on a tub on a can. If it's some Sicilian capers pickled, obviously comes in a jar. You should know about it. Most of the signature dishes, like the roasted baby goat or the homemade pastas, even if the sauces may change daily, are quite consistent on a no menu. So what we adapted to being on a modern era, we actually using a digital website. So you just Google today.nomenu.com www.undercurrent.net.au, and you see what we're cooking right now. Okay, you'll see if we got the goat on the menu, which is our signature dishes, which pasta we cooking, which entree we got on the menu. So remember, today.nonmenu.net.au, you can actually visualize at any one time. If you want to be enticed, you want to have a break, you want to go for just a bite of one dish, you can pick it. We cook and we source fresh produce. We transform with beautiful Italian recipes. Come and try yourself. Come and check yourself, and I'm sure I won't disappoint you. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much for joining us on our wander back through season 23 of Undercurrent. We hope you've enjoyed the episode so far, and make sure you tune in next week because we have some more best ofs to share with you. Enjoy your week.